What it do, YouTube? It's your boy, Young Jupiter, Big Jupiter, or you can just call me Jupiter. Just make sure you call me. Before we get to this video, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Now, if you see the title, it say when a Karen gets life in prison, what did she do or he do to get life in prison, bro? That is crazy. I gotta see. Man, I'm gonna link to the original video down below if y'all want to check it out for yourself. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Karens have to be the bravest people on earth, so today we'll be looking at them going God mode on court-martials. Let's jump into it. First up, the following woman had a Karen moment once she heard that her bond was denied.
No bond.
No, me tengo que ir a la cárcel así, pero mi marido me pegó. Si él es
Hold up, what did she do though? Can you say the crime?
la pierna. Por favor, my husband broke my leg. Please, no, don't do that. I have my leg broke. No, please, don't do that. Don't do that. No, please.
Do they realize, like, I don't know, but the judges, they seen all this before, so really when you do this does nothing to them. They already turned off that emotion when they first start the job, trust me.
She's crying and screaming, "He broke my leg." She told police she stabbed her husband to death because he abused her.
She ended up getting life in prison. We now have a man who just couldn't handle his sentence in court.
As someone who identified herself as his sister rushed to his side screaming obscenities, 24-year-old Ronnie Amadon had to be dragged from Laconia District Court. Amadon was arrested last night at an apartment on Union Avenue.
They actually had to drag him out of court. Next,
Damn.
we have an 11-year-old boy who clearly doesn't know how to act like an 11-year-old boy.
So a week before he was arrested, he brought those weapons to school, but fortunately, school leaders...
Did you say weapons as in more than one? Oh, hell nah. Not in today's age, my friend. Not in today's days.
...found them before he was able to do anything. Outburst in court today after the court commissioner made a decision to keep the 11-year-old locked up in juvenile court. Prosecutors today say the boy had brought the gun to school 2 times before it was discovered, and they say he was planning...
Wait, 2 times? How was there a second time? Yeah, that's mind-blowing.
...several people after school that day, not just the one other student as previously mentioned.
You know, those issues are not going to go away. I see him as a risk to himself. I see him as a risk to others.
An evaluation determined he does suffer from mental health issues, including suicidal thoughts.
He has had a long history of behavior outbursts. I think that based on parent report and clinical reports, these outbursts have increased in the last year.
Do you guys think it comes down to bad parenting at the end of the day? Anyways, we now have Robert Howes. He was in court for multiple offenses, and this was his sentencing.
Clearly, he didn't learn his lesson and was not rehabilitated, and I'm requesting that he receive the maximum sentence allowed by law. Unfortunately, my grandmother told me a long time ago, if you have nothing nice to say about somebody, don't say it, in your honor. At this point, I have nothing good to say.
Damn.
Thank you, sir. I sentenced you to 11 years.
Damn.
Plus 3 years for the gun. Count 8, the having a weapon while under disability. I sentenced you to 36 months. Counts 9 and 10, there are no sentences because they merged with count 5. Count 11, the disrupting public service, a felony of 4th degree, I sentenced you to 12 months.
Oh my God, imagine just sitting there hearing that shit, boy. Oh my God. Shit, that was some charges.
Happened. This was How's reaction.
43 and a half years.
I don't think there's any half. 43 straight, right?
Damn.
Now, a woman who clearly didn't take her sentencing well.
Continue to February the 12th for probable cause hearing, pre-trial hearing. That'll be good on the 4th of all courtroom number 5. Thank you. I didn't do it. I'm telling you, I didn't
Next, we have Jason Dalton. He interrupted a witness for the crime he committed, and this is what he had to say.
I saw it. The gun. Interrogator car. These old people, they have these old black bags that are called they're black bags, and people drive around and you look at them. It gets real like, hey, it's time people look, and then that's when to tell people it's time to get to Temple.
You need to listen to your attorney, right?
Yeah, you need to get to Temple because you need to get.
What the hell is he talking about?
Because it's called intimidator.
You can be quiet in today's proceeding.
Yeah.
You have anything to say, you whisper to your attorney. That's today's rules, okay?
It got so bad that the guards had to get involved.
See, Ms. Crothers, are you okay? Or do we need to take a minute?
Take it.
All right, we're going to call a recess.
Take it.
If you would escort your down into holding.
We're here, honey. You okay?
Coming up next, we have Michelle Blair. She was in court for the murder of her children. She pleaded guilty, but they still gave her a life sentence. This was her reaction to it.
And I'm not mad at they try to plead guilty to get a little time off or whatever. No, give her the maximum. Not just the maximum sentence.
Everybody want to know? Yes, I did.
Then they say she stored them in her freezer. What could make you do some shit like this, bro? I don't know what's wrong with some people. If you feel like that way, just give your kids away, bro. Honestly.
In a lightning bolt of emotion, Michelle Blair admits to killing her 13-year-old daughter, Stony Blair, because she believed the teen and her 9-year-old son, whom she's also accused of murdering, had been harming her youngest child. Blair is charged with their murders, but the trial that began today is about the state attempting to terminate Blair's parental rights to her 2 surviving children.
There's just simply no excuse for what she did. Next, we have Eric Pendlin. He was in for something quite inhumane. Let's take a look.
Erin Lawson and her husband have been caring for disabled and abused children for many years. But in 2017, they began fostering the baby boy of Eric Pendlin, who last month was convicted of shaking the child so violently he's now permanently disabled.
Nothing prepared us for the screaming. Hours and hours of screaming.
Pendlin was in court this afternoon for sentencing on child endangering counts, but prosecutors say that's only because the baby never died from his injury. The little boy suffered traumatic brain damage and a broken neck that left him hearing impaired, nearly blind in both eyes, and unable to hold his own head up.
For the rest of his
Man,
life.
if I was a judge, the way I'd be finding things to charge him with, so I'd be just finding shit that relate to the crime. But I'm telling you, I couldn't be no judge.
Eric will rely on others to bathe him, dress him, change his diapers, feed him.
Once the judge told him that he was going to spend over 11 years in prison, this was his reaction.
Man.
Only 11? That ain't good enough. See, if I was judge, I would have found way more things than that. I'm telling you.
Do anything wrong, man.
Prosecutors tell me the little victim, who's now 2, was formally adopted by the Lawsons a few weeks ago and now lives out of the area.
Now have a Karen who just doesn't know when to stop. Apparently the court couldn't handle her either.
Personal life is your business. It has nothing to do with
Miss Hardwick,
no.
You will be held in contempt of this court if you become disruptive.
I don't care. I haven't done anything to this court. I haven't done anything to him.
She will be arrested for contempt of the court. You will serve 10 days for contempt of court. You go now.
I would have been like, give her even more. Man.
Next up, we have a convict who goes by the name Bass Webb. He went to prison for countless crimes, and this is how he treated his judge.
I have 8 further proceedings where I have to see you for 1 further second. Set the preliminary hearing next week.
The action clearly takes the judge by surprise. After initially dismissing Webb, the judge makes Webb stand and watch as she wipes the spit from her face. Then Dixon tells him she's seen enough.
But it didn't just stop there. Bass also caused this riot inside the Lexington Fayette County Detention Center.
Yeah, they gonna permanently have to put him in the hole, seems like it.
Ended up getting 52 years in jail, then months later got sentenced to life.
Damn.
Murder of his late girlfriend.
Oh my God. Shit. So he don't even give a damn about life at this point anymore. Shit. Well, like I say, do the crime, gotta do the time. Don't really feel sorry for nobody. But yeah, that's the end of today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you will. I'm out.